Drop it.
Hello, good morning everyone. My name is Muliawan P, and in this video I will discuss about the topic youth rebels or self-actualization. In our cultures, the children who rebels to their parent is considered as naughty. Even from the smallest things, they 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 are directly considered as naughty. Uh, Parents don't see that their children lives in different eras from them. In 80s or 90s, long hair, uh, jeans are considered as rebels because in that era, in the Order Baru, they are so strict that even the lifestyle is scouted by the government. But in the current cultures, in the new millennials, we can freely express ourselves like using tight jeans, having long hair, and so on. And because of these different cultures in different era, parents seems that their children is repelling to them, and they are too strict. The parent that is too strict may lead to the children's rebellions, as I show as I prove in the book Creator. There are some proof that the strict parent result in the uh, rebelling children. So how do we overcome this? Is that parent and children should have a talk or dialogues about what they want and what they need, because children doesn't like being told. They also want to be heard. Why the children do this? Why children should be like that? It is often forget by the parent. So the better ways to overcome this rebellion, that we must know that there are no youth rebellions. They just want to actualize themselves, and the way they actualize themselves is different from their parents' way. Yeah, as I speak before, it is because the different culture and different eras. So parents must have a big heart and big mind to realize that their children wants to fly higher, want to explore the world, wants to leave home freely without them as contacting every minute, calling them every minute. Children want to be believed. They want to be believed that they can keep themselves. They can be responsible. They want what it's like melanggar aturan, not obeying the law, and that is the most things that the children needed to be believed, and also they want to be heard. What things they want to be heard? The first is their problems. Sometimes the strict parent often that and discredit the children problem as like they are a small problem. For the parent it is small problem, but from the children it might be a big problem. There is a different standard for parents and children. That's why parents should listen first to the children, and then try to give solution without judging them. Children, especially teenagers, hate to be judged. They want to be respected. their choice, their lifestyle. They want to be respected. Uh, so therefore, after seeing that so many videos, I think that parent and children should work together to create a happy family. Okay, I think that's all. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hello, my name is Alwi, and I'm here want to talk about Teenage Rebellion. Before, I thought that Teenage Rebellion is always related to drug use, free sex, and a few other bad things. This is because I often see news on TV about the negative effect or negative side of youth rebellion. In the news, rebellions teenagers are mostly dealing with a bad thing. It is what underlies my thinking about youth rebellion in the past. However, after I saw some video related to youth rebellion, I changed my mind. Most of the video I see show that youth rebellion is not what I think it is. There are videos that say teenage rebellion is normal. Some say that youth rebellion is a degree, and some even say that youth rebellion show that teenage is healthy. Muliawan P said recent research actually indicate that rebellion in the sign of a healthy personality. And Ami Barbara also said there are most full reason for the rebellious teenage tendencies age 13 to 15 because the brain is most active when children become teenager, and the brain is suddenly able to construct idea from information. There is a video say that parents can also be the cause of teenage rebellion. Sometimes parents put too much pressure on teens. They give exercise expectation in the life of their child. The greater the expectation of the parent, the greater the pressure for the teenage receive. As Austaja said, it's like a raindrop, getting bigger, bigger, and bigger before it falls. And what do we do without noticing? We transfer all this expectation that we have on our children. It's very common for teenagers to experience a period of rebellion. Normal rebellious behavior develop over time, beginning with a teen wanting to be with the friend more and disagree with parent more frequently. Problem rebellious is suddenly and drastically out of character. Society stamp a bad teen label on rebellious teens. These teenagers are not always bad teens. To understand why teens rebels, one has to look past society level and into teens' background and mental thought. There are numerous reasons why teens turn to rebellion. Different experience in life can cause individual teens to react differently and possible result of rebellion. Parents that have extremely strict are one of the main causes of rebellion. Most teens, some in their life, feel like their parents have them on a ledge when the teen parents will not give the teen permission to do something they want to do. Parents are only being strict to shield their child from bad situation and influence, whereas the teen never sees in that way. Every teen want to find identity and freedom. Parents are trying to keep their teenager from growing up too quickly. Teens cannot understand why their parents will not let them go to the parties and hang out with their more popular teenagers. This causes teens to rebel because of the anger they feel emotionally toward their parent for not letting them to do what they want to do. Teenage rebellion can stem from nosy parent invading their teens' privacy and personal life. Everyone deserves and has to have privacy to a certain extent. When teens disforce their parent invading their privacy, the teen might develop an intense aggression toward their parents. The majority of teenagers believe that parents should never read their personal diary or journal, where they have written their most personal secret, feeling, and thought. Rebellion is seen quite often in teens that have been tough and emotional ordeal like rape, verbal, or sexual abuse. This kind of emotional trauma can cause teens to blame themselves for what happened and cause deep-seated feeling of anger and shame. Rebellion can occur when a teen feels there is no one they can trust or talk to. Teenage rebellion can be the result of physical injury from a parent divorce. So, often teens feel like their parent divorce was their fault. While dealing with a divorce, teens not only sometimes blame themselves, but they become psychologically confused and full of anger. The anger teens feel toward their parent causes them to rebel and despise on the part of their parent from tearing the family apart. In Sifor's cause, the teen once loved bond relationship with parent is destroyed. Just like a divorce, remarriage can sometimes be difficult for teen to accept. A teen can develop anger toward one of both of their parents if the teen is not already enraged or are divorced early on. Teens sometimes find it's very difficult to accept the member of their step-family as their own family. In this situation, rebellions make it harder for the new family member to develop a close bond. Rebellion teenager caused by a parent divorce and or remarriage is very similar, not similar to teenage rebellion caused by living in an unstable household. Most teens cannot deal with emotional turmoil from their parent unfaithful relationship. It can also be extremely difficult for the life in to live in a household where verbal or physical fighting occurs. This kind of household environment can cause depression as well as rebellion. Parents need to spend time with their teen and help them through the hard time during adolescence. And then death of love, one of difficult for anyone to deal with, especially teenagers. Rebellion from friend, family member, and society is common for teens after experience of loss of someone they care about. The common question that repeatedly runs through a young teenage mind is why? Teens are not able to understand why something too tragic happened to them. Rebellion ends up being the remedy for teens to deal with emotional heritage and search for the answer they need. The effect of rebellion can range from no effect at all to several devastation for the teen and some parent. Rebellion can destroy a teen self-worth. This can affect them for their entire life. Teens begin with downgrading themselves. They can end up depressed and possibly attempt suicide to solve their problem. Most teens go through stages of rebellion and get into different kind of trouble as the result. Trouble can be sometimes severe, breaking the law to minor things like disobey their parent. Many parents are concerned and worried about their teens when they rebel from them. They do not want their child to end up in jail or 6 feet under. Rebellion is common among today's teenagers, but teenage rebellion does always involve drug, suicide, or killing people. Sometimes this is due to problem at home. Parents need to take action when they see signs of rebellion. Normal rebellion is sporadic. There can be moments of sweetness, calmness, and cooperation between upbounds. Parents need to be understanding and let the teen know they are willing to just listen to the teen. Idea without making judgment taking is a good way to help teen things out. On the other hand, if the rebellion is constant and parents need to be willing to accept that this can be a sign of underlying emotional problem and be willing to help their teen. I think that's all for me. Thank you.